Christopher Anthony Lunsford, known professionally as Oliver Anthony Music, is an American country folk singer songwriter. Born June 30th, 1992, he is 32 years old, from Farmville, Virginia, United States. Genre country folk, instruments, vocals, and guitar. What is happening, guys? George the Cloud here. My name is Jorge, aka George. Welcome to the channel and welcome to my life. I was just reading a little bit about Oliver Anthony, and I have seen him before, not in person, of course. Does he even do live performances? I'm not sure. He's very sort of low profile, in the forest kind of a singer. But I have reacted to him a few times in the past. If you're interested, I'll have a playlist at the top right here at the end. And today we're checking out Doggonit. All right. Is there a... what does it say here? It will be a year ago tomorrow. Well, this was already 5 days ago, but that Chris, Oliver Anthony Music, and I released the shot heard around the world, known as Richmond, North of Richmond. We recorded some other songs that day and decided to keep a few in the vault to use for later. This is one of the favorites we kept from that day. Enjoy Doggonit. Okay, so this is, I think I remember that shirt. I know that shirt anywhere, and that beard. So it is from the same day probably. And yeah, I reacted to that song. It was the shot heard around the world. Probably the song of the year, one of the biggest surprises in terms of music that I've ever seen. So this is a real artist we're looking at here, and I'm excited to check this out. So get some popcorn, fill up your water, put your headphones on. Let's go. Is that a treehouse there? I never got the chance to even be in a treehouse, but I think that would have been really cool as a child. Oh well, maybe for my kids.
Lord, my head's been hurting, my back's been aching, the water's drying up, there's a war in the making. People eating bugs 'cause they won't eat bacon. Doggone it. There's needles in the streets, folks hardly surviving. Sidewalks next to highways full of cars self-driving. The poor keep hurting, the rich keep thriving. Doggone it. But there's a little town somewhere, the only thing you hear at night is that old mill humming. The only time traffic backs up is when that old sweet Norfolk Southern train's humming. With me and a dog on it, just me and a dog on it. Now people's crying about burning coal, but not the poor souls who's digging it. I reckon there's been many good men in the grave trying to keep our houses lit. From down in the oil fields and the pipelines and the linemen and the coal mines, so we can sit at home and plug in our newfangled bullshit. And Republicans and Democrats, Lord, I swear they're all just full of crap. I ain't never seen a good city slicking bureaucrat. But there's a little town somewhere, the only thing you hear at night is that old mill humming. The only time traffic backs up, when that old sweet Norfolk Southern train's humming. With me and a dog on it, just me and a dog on it. Lord, my head's been hurting, my back's been aching, the water's drying up, there's a war in the making. People eating bugs 'cause they won't eat bacon. Dog on it.
I love dogs. Yeah, man, this guy. What do I even say, guys? What help me out here. There's a saying that goes like this. It's not what you say, but how you say it. And I think that really applies here with Oliver Anthony's style because he has so much emphasis on what he says, and with that very distinct accent and that powerful southern voice, it just makes all the difference. I could be saying the same thing he's saying, but it would have a fraction of the impact just because I would say it, in my tone, completely different, and it wouldn't get close to the the driving force that he's putting behind the words there, because he really feels them, right? Not everybody can sing his music because you know not everybody is going to, like, they won't be able to do it justice since they haven't been in his position, right? You have to come from like from down under to sort of, like, what you get what I'm saying? It's like when you're at rock bottom, you have like two choices. You can keep, just ending yourself, it's over, or you can get the courage to crawl from the depths of darkness, from the abyss, something like that. And I feel that with him. It's like he's still sort of living like in darkness, like crying out for help, trying to reach the world, at least some people, with his music, with his words. um and he's just like a match lit on fire in the middle of darkness. Like, he is in darkness, but he is, I mean, he's, yeah, he's, red hair and everything, blonde, but it's like his presence and his charisma is like a fire in the darkness. That's how I see it. And I also really enjoy that he smiled here, right? It just, the humanity, guys, right? um to see him go from this so into the music to just casually, right, getting some water for the dogs, smiling, just shows that he is like a genuinely nice person. I don't know. It may be impossible to tell from a few videos, but it's just my instinct telling me that he's humble, that he's, you know, cool to be around with, one of those down to earth people, right? That it's rare to find, especially these days. I feel like I'm, that's like my old man speech, like, oh, nowadays it's, but truly, because we're living in a world that is about, well, like he said himself, and an old soul living in a new world, because right now it's about technology, it's about materialistic things, what's superficial, what's your appearance, what you have, what you know. But he's, he's from a like a different era. I think I mentioned in one video, I could picture him like living in the Civil War era, like being a soldier, right, for the hopefully the Union, and helping out Lincoln and whatnot, and just playing the guitar at night to a bunch of sort of down and and saddened soldiers. I don't know, something like that. He brings me back to like a the 1800s. But anyway, this is a great song, of course. He's always throwing in there his political opinion, and just sort of talking about the world, the situation that people are in, which is a complicated one, not easy. Um, but just his voice is so powerful. Like I said, it's all about the delivery that he has in his. You almost even forget that he's playing guitar, right? Sometimes when you have a person, playing, it's either, well, there's three outcomes. There's a balance between their voice and the sound of the guitar. Two, the guitar is overpowering, and we're listening more to the melody of the strings than their actual voice. Maybe it's a little bit soft and more tender, depending on the mood that you want to convey. Or three, I think in this case, his voice is so much more powerful than the tunes that are coming from the guitar, that it's you even for and even that guitar like that has a like a really like, how do I even put this, like the strings are very harsh, like the sound is there, it's like really like a stingy sound, it's not soft, it's like ding ding. I don't know how to describe it, but still I think his voice um is coming across like way higher in volume and everything than the guitar. It's just sort of there. But of course I still enjoy him playing it. um yeah. I forgot to say, guys, we hit the like. I'm already subscribed, and I'm also subscribed to his channel, and I have a link of both of their channels in the description down below. Let me know what is next, because this is truly one of the most incredible people that I have seen in this channel. This is all about music, and his performances are just like none other. Can't really compare him to another artist. It's just Oliver Anthony. In my list, there are certain artists. It's like, yep, that's him. That's him. That's him. That's like no one in his zone, really. If anything, he does sometimes remind me a little bit, and take this with a grain of salt, of Neil Young. Been a miner for a heart of gold. Neil Young, of course, from back in the day, probably like the 70s, right? Kind of that same southern feel, although Neil Young was more about, I think, love. Although he did touch upon like several topics, including probably the situation of the world at the time, politics, um, like the world around him, etc. But I feel like Oliver Anthony has really, taking it, he's sticking it to the man in terms of politics. And of course, his voice is, I would say, a lot more like aggressive and like in your face than Neil Young. But I do think of him sometimes when I'm watching Oliver Anthony. That's all I wanted to say. But thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Don't forget to comment down below if you have any suggestions. I would appreciate it. And at the end, do a flip. Till the next.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe.